Hello, hi everybody. So this week we're going to be looking at why do we have government? So we're going to be taking a look at government, and I want to start by reminding us, what is the government exactly? What is it? And the government is the system of laws and people who help keep citizens and their rights safe. So we have different levels of government, right? You might remember we read about it during the year. We read about the national government with the president, and then there's state governments with the governor who leads it, and then there's local governments, which is like for your city or your county, and there's different people like mayors who lead that. So we have this huge system of people like presidents and mayors and governors and laws that help keep citizens and their rights safe. But why? Why do we even need that? So that's what we're going to be looking at today. So we're going to look at right now government. What, why, and how. And to start it off, let's first look at what is the government? So if I had to write in here what is the government, I would say the system, just like what we just read, the system of laws and people who help keep citizens and their rights safe. And we talked about that. We talked about what does that look like, who are those people, all the different people working in the government, who help and keep us safe, and they have different laws for us. But why? Why do we have government? So let's do that in a different color. Let's take a look. Well, the government, they make and enforce laws. If everyone was allowed to just walk around and do whatever they wanted, we would have a lot of craziness going on. We need someone who makes some basic rules for us so that bad things don't happen. What else does the government do? They help solve problems. So, for example, like right now, the government could be passing out food to people who need it. That's one thing, they help solve problems for people. Or the government also steps in, and like a police officer, think of if there's a bad person in your community, you don't have to solve it by yourself. You can call the police and someone will come and help you. So that's another good thing that government does. And they also, why do we need the government? Because we need to protect individual rights. So everyone has their own rights, and we want to protect that because we fought for that for a long time in this country. We want people to be able to do what they want without feeling like they can't do that. We want people to have their freedoms and their ability to go to the church they want to go to because it's their individual right. So that's what we do in this country. We try to protect that. And how do we do that? How does the government do that? Well, they provide safety to citizens. So that's like the people, again, the police is a really good example. They keep you safe. If there's something bad going on, they're going to go take care of it. The fire department will go put out a fire, so you don't have to worry about that. They look out for the common good. So that just means they try to protect that there's a lot of goodness going on and that there's not a lot of bad going on. And they also provide public services. And a public service would be like your local library. Can't do that without the government. Lots of different things the government does for us. So this is just a little bit of an intro here on what, why, and how the government helps people. And I feel like we've talked about this in class before. The next question is, what would life be like without government? Try to think to yourself, what would you think, what would happen if we didn't have government? I feel like there would be a lot of craziness. There would really be no order to anything that's going on. If people can just do whatever they want, we might have a lot of criminals on the loose, just living however they want to. So we do need government so that things don't just get crazy and out of control. We need some control. All right? And let's look here. So we have a couple different things here. And it's, why does our government do that? So we're going to do this together right now. It's fill in the why columns with the following options: to keep people safe, for the common good, to enforce laws, to solve problems, to provide public services. And there can be more than one answer in each box. So let's look at the first one: running and operating state parks. Why and how do they do that? Well, I would say that for sure they're doing that for the common good, because isn't it just really awesome that you have a beautiful state park to go visit whenever you want? That is for the common good, making our life better. They do things like that to make people's lives better. And I would also say that that is to provide public services, because state parks and really cool places like that the government gives to us is a public service. They're giving us something fun to do and somewhere to go and enjoy ourselves. What about providing schools with money to provide students an education? That is something that the government does. They give money to our schools. That, I would say, is definitely providing a public service. That's something they do for us. They give us money for our schools. And I would also say that's for the common good. Because wouldn't you say it's a lot better that kids have an opportunity to go to school for free and they don't have to pay for it? So it makes everyone else's lives better, the common good. Okay, charging people a fine when they litter, so when they throw trash on the ground. Why do they do that? Well, to enforce laws, right? We'd have to have a law against litter, otherwise we'd be living in a garbage dump, and we do not want that. We do not want to do that to our planet. That would not be comfortable. And they do it to solve problems. So they're thinking, well, if we charge people money, maybe they won't do that again in the future. Hopefully they won't do that again in the future. And then our problem with garbage everywhere will be solved. That's what they're hoping. Okay, what else do they do? State police patrolling the highways. Why do they do that? It could be a lot of answers here. I feel like number one, to enforce laws. They want to make sure people are following the speed limit and not creating dangerous situations for other drivers. To solve problems, because maybe if they catch the person speeding before they get in a crash, they could solve a problem before it even starts. They're also providing a public service because we don't have to go out there and catch the people who are doing wrong things driving ourselves. We have the police who are doing that for us. And yes, that would be it with that one. And let's look lastly at when the government built the Mackinac Island Bridge. Why would they do that? Why would they build a huge bridge like that? Well, a good one would be to solve problems, because maybe people really wanted to get over there faster and they were thinking, is there a better way to do it than just a little boat all the time? For the common good, because think about how many people love visiting there and going on vacation there and enjoying themselves. It's just makes our lives a lot better that it's easier to get there and that we can cross that bridge and get to a really cool vacation spot. And it provides a public service. So now you don't have to just take the boat every time you want to go to the Upper Peninsula. You can hop on the bridge and just cross right over there. So that would be a little bit how we're looking at that, things our government does and why they do them, why they do it for us. They're not just doing things for no reason. There's lots of different reasons they're doing these things. So this week, what we're going to do is I want you to read this passage. Why do we need government? Read it to yourself. There's 2 parts to it. And then answer these 3 questions. The first question is, why do people form government? The second question is, what is a public service? What are some examples of public services our government provides? And we did talk about some of them, so you could look back in the video and look and see what we said. And what is the common good? Do you think protecting the common good of all citizens is important? Why or why not? So, all right, that should be it. And let me know if there's any questions.